Hey guys, I'm back today to talk to you about bringing in your higher self and then welcoming him into your vessel, and then tying that down and manifesting as your higher self as you continue with your spiritual path. Now, this is kind of like an in-depth thing. It's not something you're going to just do like one exercise and like bam, your higher self is now like integrated in your body. This is a consistent process, and it kind of ties in with like a lot of other stuff that we've been talking about. So let's get started. Jump right into it. Your higher self is that higher consciousness within you that knows better in every situation that you go through. It's that little sense of self that says like, hey, you wronged that person, you should go apologize. And then it's that sense of person that says, hey, you should take a right here, you forgot, you missed your turn around. Your higher self has like this awareness over your reality that is like on a much bigger perspective. It's like looking over a board game versus playing in the board game. And as you continue to rise in your higher aspects and more of your higher selves is like rings on a ladder, and you continue to ascend, then you're going to have a clearer and clearer viewpoint or picture of your reality around you. Now, your higher self can be brought in all of the ways from the other videos about working through purity. As you like sit with yourself and see how any of your challenges or your healings, anything that pushes your higher self out, any false beliefs, any lies or like deeds that you want to perform or like continue to like hold against people, all of these like keep you disconnected from your higher aspect. And so like what I mean by this is if somebody asks you like, hey, did you remember to like take that thing back to the store I asked you, and you lie about it and you say no, or like, yeah, I did, but you didn't, and your higher self is like, whoa, we're lying, you just lied. Whatever insecurity, maybe you don't want to get in trouble for lying, maybe you want to look better than like you actually are, whatever like caused you to lie, it's not what's on the table, it's the fact that you lied. And so your higher self will be like, hey, stop, go back, tell him like you're lying, like stop this. An awareness, your lower aspects and your lower self is going to look to like lie in order to like feel more secure and more safe within itself. And so you have to be able to have the awareness of which choice to make and say, hey, you know what, like I'm so sorry, like I lied to you about that. Really, I haven't taken it back yet. I intended to take it back, I just haven't done it. Felt like a little bit insecure when I was first put on the spot, and so I'm sorry. And you know, I'll make sure that I get it taken back, or I'll go do it right now. Put the emphasis on like fixing the problem that you made. And as you continue to make those choices on a physical level and a mental level, because you made a mental choice to lie and the physical action of lying, and then you also made the mental choice of finding the truth, and then the physical action of going back and creating the truth. And so like that's the first start, is catching yourself in your mistake and saying, you know what, I made a mistake, I did do this, I'm sorry. The best option is like, hey, did you do that? No, I didn't get to the store today, I intended to, I'm sorry if I let you down or whatever, but I didn't get to the store today. I'll make extra emphasis that I do it tomorrow, or I can run and do it right now. However your environment's working for you, put the emphasis back on this is a priority because this is something that you obligated yourself to do, and hold yourself to that higher standard of meeting those obligations. Yeah, I will do that for you. I'll do it. And then the best situation is just to have the highest standard. Did you do that? Yeah, I did do it. I got it done. Like, it was great. And then like you held yourself accountable. I can do this. This is my obligation. I'll do this for you. And then you even like carried it through and fell through all the way and got it done. And as you go through your day, you're obviously going to get those even more barriers as like, hey, I don't have time for this, or make sure you get this. These are different like higher and lower selves. If you don't have time, hey, well, we make sure we get some time in. How can we just budget some time in and get this task done? And then like we're being reminded of this, so maybe we should set an alarm, or what part of our day is this budgeted into? And then you're consistently working with your higher and lower selves on a much more a much more intimate level, on like in the moment, like, hey, you're driving to lunch, oh, don't forget you have to take that thing back. Was it a good time? Is it not a good time? I don't know, let's look at the schedule. Oh, I'm gonna do it after work. And then you have like this time budgeted, but the awareness comes around and like that's your higher self. Hey, I see that you're like, you might forget this. So I want to remind you again, don't forget to take those back to the store. That's your heads up saying, have a higher sense of awareness. Then as you catch those, you're like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. I'm going to do it after work. Okay, cool, thanks. I got it. I'm going to do it after work. Then you get off work and you're like, I need to go do this. Then you have that intention. You're going forward to do this. These are your own reminders setting you up for success. This is how you get set up for success. When you're matured into a state in where you don't need reminders, you're able to carry out all of your responsibilities to the letter all the time, from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep. Like, that's great. Like, that's what we're working for in an ideal situation, is to be able to continue to like hold ourselves to that higher sense of standard and responsibility. Until we get there, we got to set ourselves up for success. We got to set schedules. We got to put it in our calendar. We got to budget in time and money and energy, and then set ourselves up so that way we can complete our obligations appropriately and timely, and we can like hold ourselves accountable into that standard, into our word. So by doing this, you're going to start to discern the difference between higher sense of actions and lower senses of actions. Higher, the key is higher. And actions is just a manifestation of your higher self giving you a proper sense of action. As you see that better way, you're seeing from that higher perspective, coming in and saying, hey, do this instead of do that, do this instead of do that. And you're acknowledging, oh, okay, I'm catching that. And by accepting, you're going to like drift and drift and drift instead of oscillating between higher and lower aspects. You're going to start to make choices of like higher self choice, higher self choice, higher self choice. And that's going to come in more prominently with all of the different actions, interactions, experiences, thoughts, emotions, moments. Every facet of your reality is like a conscious battle between positive action and negative action, positive emotion and negative emotion, positive thoughts and negative thoughts, positive interactions and negative interactions. Every moment of your experience is broken up into like different like levels and categories of all of these different types of positive and negativities. And your objective is to start seeing it. And the higher the perspective, the more you can see. It's like seeing the game on the top from in it. If you're just the Monopoly man running around, you don't have like, is this property available? Yeah, buying it. Is this property available? Buying it. You don't have really a strategy. You're just going around buying it from a first-person perspective. But as you look down on the game, you start to see that, oh, okay, there's some strategy. I can get like these things together. I'm going to get more bang for my buck. So I should try to like save my money and put forth my effort in a different way, a more long-term way, in order to get a better and greater payout. And so that's our challenge, is in every aspect, see the better way, and see how into our future, like our actions and our manifested like thoughts and feelings all create a more positive or a more negative experience to the micro detail. So as we do that and we sit within ourselves, we can even like do this in meditation. So like that's our actions, our physical self, what we can do on a daily basis and running into experiences and making that positive choice. We have the mental self. Hey, you're like grumpy at somebody. That's the negative aspect. That's the lower self. Higher self is like, what am I supposed to learn? What is this person challenging me with to experience so many emotions? What is my challenge to learn over this? What are my sensitivities? What are my insecurities? How is that being impacted and being felt? And then like learn it from your higher perspective, yourself. What is this? And then maybe come down from like a calm perspective and say, hey, I just wanted to bring this about to you. Is like, I didn't know I was sensitive to this, or like this hurt my feelings. And I just need you to know like that your actions took this away from me or made me feel a certain way. So then you can get how you feel to the other person. Like, this is how you made me feel, and I got to get this off to you and let you know that you took away from me and you hurt me in my experience. And then it's their responsibility, and it's on them to say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I was my agenda. This is what I was trying to share with you. I'm sorry that you're sensitive to that. I'll in the future learn people are sensitive to this. So when you broach those subjects, check on their sensitivity levels first before you just like jump into the pond and you start hurting people's feelings, because it's just not cool. Like, it's not cool. And so as we continue to like grow and learn on a physical self, We also get the emotions too. We have positive emotions or negative emotions, and we can't always control the emotional state that we're in, but we can control how our emotions impact ourselves. And we can allow our negative emotions to like run crazy in our world, and we can use that to like hurt you or hurt like others around us and push others away and say like, yeah, I don't need you, I don't want you, you don't love me. Like it's a you thing. It's all about you not liking me, or you don't want me, or you just like hate me, or I'm not good enough for you. It's all about poor me because of you. And that's like the lower aspect self. The higher self is like, okay, well, what do I have to learn? What are you teaching me about myself? Like, how is this hurting and impacting my feelings? Am I insecure over this? Is this something that I need to learn to be more secure within who I am? Maybe I'm just a bad boyfriend and I have to learn to be a better boyfriend. And like some of the things that I do that I used to do, like I've neglected, like buying presents for my girlfriend or getting her sweet things like throughout the day or the year or the week or like however, and being more consistent about like the I love yous and the niceties. And then our emotions get an opportunity. We're getting tied together. And so then your emotions get that opportunity to have a positive reflection out by giving those niceties back and saying like, you don't love me enough, or it's like about me because of you. And so give back, treat them like how you want to be treated in response, and make them feel that way. They're going to see ultimately how good it makes them feel and how much you like love them and care about them. And it's going to come right back around to you. But we have to be able to see far enough ahead that kindness pays off to us in dividends and the long haul. It's like a savings. You have to save now for the long-term return on it. You're not getting to spend all that money now. Like you just don't get to use it. And so yeah, there's no immediate gratification on it except for you see this. But in the long term, you're going to make out. And kindness is the same way. We have to like put our kindness out there and put our love out there and give it as much as we have to give it, because then it starts to come back around. We're going to love like our wives better, and then that's going to make them feel better. Then they're going to have more energy to give love to our children better, and then our children are going to feel more loved at home, and they're going to reciprocate and give you more love. And maybe it's not coming back from like your wife perspective that you're looking for directly. It's like, I'm giving her so much and I'm not getting anything in return. It's because you're blinding yourself to the higher perspective. You're blinding yourself to the way it's coming in. It's not what your ego wants. It's not what you desire. And so you have to be able to push that self aside and push that selfishness aside and saying, no, it's about me giving to you to make you feel how I want to feel. Because that means you're going to learn. If you make me feel good, I'm going to want to make you feel good. I'm like, wow, that's so sweet of you. You're so kind. Like, that's so thoughtful. Thank you. And then you're going to start to feel good with just that gratification. And it's going to like continue to build positivity. And it's good for us to step back and practice selfless love and say, you know what? I do need to like love my spouse in a more selfless way and give to them in a more selfless way. It's not about them loving me in return. I have my spouse or my significant other because of how much I love them. I love them. And so we got to give our love to them and show them how much I love you. And giving to you. And then I give you my love. And in exchange, it's not your responsibility to love me in exchange. That's love with a criteria on it. I only love you if you love me. I love you a lot, which means you still have to love me. And that's like expectations for me or obligations on me. And yeah, it's good selfless love, but it's selfish to have an expectation for someone to love you in response. Love is something that's cultivated. It's something that's grown. It's something that comes from within. And so as we learn to grow it in ourselves, we learn to give it. And then the more we give, the more we fill their love cup up. And we got to break their love cup up so much that it's overflowing. And then it like will flow out to the people around them. And you're part of the people around them. So eventually, yes, it does come back around. And now you have a group of people who all have this level of higher standard in love. And then you have your mental character. Man, your thoughts are so out of control. They're so negative. They're so like hurt. They're so like insecure. They're shy. they won't get addressed. They're ego ridden. You have to get control over this. If you don't have control over this, you don't have control over anything else. This is important to have control over. They say mind over matter, but the mind rules all of it. All of the suit looks to the mind and says, hey mind, what is our course of action? We lost our love from our heart, and so our actions no longer come from selfless love in our heart. We've given all of our power to our logic, thinking, intellectual self, and say, hey thoughts, how is the most logical response to this? It doesn't matter if it hurts anybody's feelings, this is what I need to do to get accomplished. And that's like a selfish thing in the long run. And so you have to sit with your thoughts and see how your thoughts are impactful on others. See how your thoughts think negatively towards others and want others to hurt. And then it justifies itself. It rationalizes itself. It comes up with excuses as to why it's okay to be negative at all, when in truth it is not okay to have something as simple as a thought being so negative. I understand if you come off in a manifested way as negative, then that's like a whole lot of other negative qualities and traits within you that's causing this. And so the most simple thing in your experience is a thought. They wafted in and out in like such a moment's notice, you forgot to think and remember even what they were. And so why do you not just control something so simple and say you're not a good thought, go away, I only have positive thoughts? Controlling up here, I can do it. Affirmations program this. Positive thinking programs this. Reflection in a positive way programs this. So we meditate and we go looking in our mind, and then we experience, and a lot of us get lost in experience, and we go and have other experiences, but we forget to experience ourselves. How are we in ourselves? Check your thoughts. Spend your meditation time reflecting. How do I feel about my experiences? How do I feel about the people in my interactions? You know from your higher self who you have grievances with. You know this. Sit down with yourself and say, hey, why does Edward not like me? And then you why don't I like Edward? What is it about him that bothers me? What is it about him that challenges me in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable? See how you're challenged. See how he brings to you an opportunity to grow in that challenge. He's like other people. We have to learn to love other people. He's himself. He's unique. This is how he is. And then from this, we learn to care about others in the way we care about ourselves. Well, I see you're weird and unique and you're really a lot and difficult to handle. But thanks for being a part of my experience. Thanks for having this this with me. Share that gratitude, even if you don't want him in your immediate company, safe bubble zone, whatever, that's fine. But don't give your power to the negativity and say I don't like you, stay out. No, I just I'm respect for you. I'm grateful for having the opportunity to be challenged by you. I see that you're very challenging of a person that for me to interact with, and I'm at a point in myself where I can't do that in a positive way, and so I do need space from you. But I wish you the best of luck. I see your challenges are really difficult. At least they're difficult for me from my perspective, and I wouldn't want them to. And so I'm praying for you. Good luck to you. Send them off with positivity. Keep your space, but keep it in the positive zone. Don't allow you to feed into all of the reasons why he irks you or bothers you or takes away from you or has hurt you or whatever. Keep it in that positive zone. See the most positive way and force yourself to behave appropriately. You are disciplined and you have to take care of this and be responsible for this and have a higher sense of standard in this. And as you do this, you're going to continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And then you're in your higher self more and more and more. And you start to see more actions that lead to higher self viewpoints. And you're going to challenge yourself to grow in every way that you're not manifesting from a higher perspective. Because the more you get rid of lower traits, lower quality, this thing's at 100%. We're maxed out. These spirit capsules are like all the way maxed out with vibrations. You're not picking up higher vibrations because this thing is full of lower stuff already. And so if you want more, you got to drop the baggage. You got to get rid of undesirables. You have to clean this house up. And you can do this in so many ways. By cleaning this up, eating better, exercise, meditating, holding yourself responsible, having high standards, you continue to grow this suit into a higher realm. You get rid of your negativity, you get rid of your karma, you get rid of all of that lower vibration, and it opens it up for this higher vibration. Brings it in, clearing off this which no longer suits you. You bring in new energy that's going to teach you. And as you continue to grow, you see more of your challenges, you see more of that which is difficult for you, and you push yourself to face this challenge, face this difficulty. Like, fear of confrontation is very common. We are changing this whole paradigm into facing our confrontations head on. This is a problem. What's the problem? How can I help? How am I a part of this? Solution problem. I'm here, direct with it. I'm not saying that I was not responsible for it. Holding myself accountable. Yeah, I did cause that to you. I'm very, very sorry. I can see how my actions were like irresponsible and childish, and I'm very sorry. Hold yourself accountable. Be apologetic. Be sincere about it. Sincerity. And fix it. These are our challenges to grow. See how okay, cool. Thanks for pointing out how I was shitty so I can make it better. Not how I was shitty because I'm shitty. Thanks for pointing it out. Our ego wants to say we're shitty. Our ego says we're not good enough. No, we are. These are our challenges that are given to us and saying, hey, do you want to do better? Are you growing? Is this what you want? Then do this. Fix this. Sit with this. Work on this. Face these challenges. Look for them. And so we have our mental self holding this, getting this under control. Number one, happy mind, happy life. Then we have how we feel. Can't control our emotions, but we can control how they come off. If I see that you're challenging me, you're I'm losing patience, I'm getting frustrated, I can see this within myself before it comes out. It's my job to control that. It's my job to say, hey, excuse myself, I need to take a minute, I need to take a breather, I need to take a time out, because my emotions are coming out really strong right now, and I don't want them to hurt your feelings. I don't want this to take away from you, and I feel very passionate and strongly about this. Take a time out, but you got to get the emotions out still. Go cry on your own, go hit your punching bag, go run, take a walk, take a time out, but address the emotions. They need to come out, and you want to do it in a positive way. Allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to be upset, but don't allow it to take away from the resolution in the conflict itself. You're working for a resolution. Yeah, we're both hurt, that's how it goes. So we have to set that aside and say, hey, what's the solution? I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm holding myself responsible. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to do, holding that to the highest standard, not just using that as escape out. That's a lower vibratory action. That's way too low for me. And so holding that up, seeing your flaws and pushing yourself to continue to grow that, letting your ego be hurt. Let that guy feel shitty. It sucks. Challenge is to get over it. Challenge is to love yourself. You're hurting yourself, so love yourself. While you're hurting, love yourself. You need to bring love to you. You're the world is gonna be way too hard if you're continuing to ask it to feed you love. Feed yourself love. Say, you know what, self, I'm sorry for you. Yeah, it hurts. She doesn't like you. He's upset. But it's okay. We learned a lot. We're gonna do better. We're gonna grow. I love you. I'm here with you. No matter what, you got me, buddy, and I love you, self. And then push yourself to outgrow that. See how you can improve. Focus on solution, not problem. You're gonna go where your energy's gonna go, where your focus is. If you're caught up on the problem and all the reasons why you're not doing good enough, or you're not whatever, then that's what you're gonna see, and that's where you're gonna focus on. If you see the solution, this is what I gotta do to get better. This is where I need to improve at. This is how I can do better. Then you're gonna get that. You're gonna grow towards that. And so with a higher awakening self, you're gonna meditate, you're gonna see higher versions, you're gonna bring that energy down, release lower vibrations. And as you continue to wash yourself in mind, body, and emotions, spirit, you're going to get higher and higher selves coming in and maintaining longer within the body. It's a continuous fight in here for control. Everybody who lives in this 100% max spirit capsule is in a fight for control. And it's you, the consciousness, that maintains control. Everything else is trying to push for out of control chaos. It's a positive, negative environment in here, and everybody wants to be like front and center in my mind, front and center in my actions, front and center in my experiences. But I have to decide on which ones are going to do that. I can't just let them run wild. And so sitting with myself and saying, all right, self, which of you guys are out of control? Which are you negative? Addressing the negatives. Why are you negative? What is your solution? Focus on this solution. Focus on that. Go away. Focus on that. Do you understand? Stay focused on that. If it comes around and you're bothered by it again, remind that self, I told you to focus on this solution. This is the solution. Focus on, get back on track. Get back to work. Focus. Go. Push that out. Don't settle for like yourself to be like, oh, focused on it. It's not helping. Yeah, it's not helping at all. I tried focusing on it, just can't focus on it. It's just too shitty to focus on it. Don't allow that type of shitty negative behavior. Like, no. Okay, well, I don't have any other choices. So, like, its solution, like, is the only option. So, focus on it. Like, do it. Don't, like, allow that. That's not an option. There's no quitting. There's no other choices. You're allowing yourself to have a lower standards and say like, I focused on it, I can't. You can't because you think you can't. You can't because you're giving up. Keep focusing on it. The solution is this. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. Get control over the suit. Get control over the mind and the focus. Huge. So meditate. You can even welcome higher self in, but you have to kick out negative. You have to kick out negative. Your vibration on the whole is an average. Highest selves mixed with lowest selves. It's an average. And you're operating inside of this wave all day long. And so you have to get this lower selves up so it can go higher. So it can go higher. And the only way to do that is get rid of them and then welcome in positive actions, positivity. So hold yourself accountable and have a strong standard. Be strong about this. All right, well, that's it for the video. I hope you guys got something out of it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and I'll definitely get back to it. All right, love and light.